All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 747. I'm your host, GBD, here in Long Island, New York. As always, we're joined by a man who can't wait to play Call of Duty on Nintendo Switch for the next 10 years, Wombat.
Yeah, it's my goal is to play Call of Duty on the Switch for at least a decade. That's what I'm here for.
That's why you bought the Nintendo Switch, in anticipation of that happening.
Yep, you figured it out.
So people who are watching us on Twitch live right now may notice that there are only 2 boxes on the screen instead of 3 boxes because Shipwreck is slacking off. Very unlike Shipwreck.
I know, he's not around.
To not show up for something and not let anybody know that he's otherwise engaged. That's very un-Shipwreck.
There was part of me that didn't want to say anything and just kind of let it go, and just
what do you
not
mean?
say that just not mention that Ship isn't here.
Why?
And see if people.
You should have told me that was the plan ahead of time before.
I know, but
you got to let me in on the plan.
It would have been pretty funny.
Right.
Like, where's Ship?
Well,
like, who?
Right.
Gary? Who's Gary? What movie?
Gary, the motion picture?
No, that is Weird Science.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, I almost threw up there. Anyway, Shipwreck will be back. Will join us, I think, mid-show, is the rumor.
That's what he's hoping for. We'll see how long we can go and do this together. Since,
And I'm thinking,
it's been a while.
I'm thinking he's going to be drunk when he comes back.
I don't think Ship gets drunk.
And he doesn't?
No, he gets old man drunk.
He gets redder. He gets just more red.
Yeah, it's different. It's not real drunk.
Right. Why is that? He's not trying hard enough?
No, I think it's just when it comes with age.
You can't get drunk anymore?
Mm-mm.
That doesn't make any sense.
Not when you drink as much as he does.
No, I don't think he drinks that much. He doesn't drink that much. What are you saying? So yeah, he'll be. He says like in half an hour or something. He'll be back. Are we allowed to say where he is?
I mean, I don't know.
I feel like if he didn't want us to say it, he'd be here.
That's true. You have a point. So where is he?
He's got a going away party for his work.
That's right, because he's leaving.
He's getting a new job.
Yes, he is.
Yep. Male strip
Very
club.
exciting.
Male strip club. You wouldn't think he'd wind up there, but
I would.
they needed a beer drinker.
Mm-hmm.
They needed the best damn beer drinker in town.
That's right.
So yeah, he must have a future. He's gonna have a future.
The flaming dad bod is what they call him.
All right, I have a game for you to play.
Okay,
I'm going to tell
games.
you. I'm going to tell you a story that I encountered.
Mm-hmm.
Not a story that I encountered. A situation that I encountered in real life, and you will tell me if the situation was sexist, racist, or just an innocent, exchange. Okay, so I was at a car rental place getting a car because my car was being serviced, as was the woman in front of me online at the car rental place.
The woman in front of you online was being serviced?
Her car was being serviced and she was getting a rental.
Her car was being serviced.
Don't interrupt the story with bad jokes. Only good jokes. Only good jokes.
Okay.
So the clerk is talking to her and he's explaining to her how they ask, even though the car dealership pays for the rental, they need your driver's license, they need your address, they need your phone number, and they need to try to sell you the insurance, the extra insurance, right? So the guy's like, God forbid something happens to the car, you have this insurance and everything is okay. And the woman was not interested. She's just like, no, thank you. And the guy's like, are you sure? It's like only $12 and God forbid something happens to the car, you're totally covered, you don't have to worry. And she's like, yeah, I'm okay. And then he said something else like the same thing, but again, he used the words, God forbid something happens to the car, which I thought was weird. Like, it's just a weird thing to say. Like, it's a fucking car, right? Like, if something happens to the car,
script.
I guess, but like, God forbid, God forbid would not be in the script unless it was
It
like. It
might be. I mean, you could scare people
really?
with that turn of phrase. It's a very religious country we live in, just not me and you.
But I know, but do you think wouldn't it have to be like Jesus car rentals to have like God forbid? You think like a major car rental place would?
I think they're banking on most people being Christian and that phrase maybe being a little triggering.
Interesting. Okay. It's a theory. I don't know if I believe it, but it's a theory.
I'm working with what you're giving me.
Okay, so I'm sitting there next, and I'm like, that's so weird that he just keeps saying, God forbid something happens to the car. And like, what am I gonna say when he says that to me? So that's what I'm thinking about while this woman in front of me is getting it. Also, she's an Asian woman.
Okay, I would have been like, God is dead.
That's part of my sexist, racist, or innocent game.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy, she says after the third time of God forbid something happens to the car, she's like, no, thank you. And the guy is like, leaves it alone and moves on. Then it's my turn. And I'm thinking like, what am I going to say when he says God forbid? And you know what I came up with like, what are you renting me? A Ferrari? Something like that. It wasn't great, but I wasn't putting that much effort into it.
Okay,
anyway, sure enough, the guy, he asked me for my address and phone number, takes my driver's license and then my insurance. And then instead of asking me if I want insurance, he goes, oh, you just want to use like your coverage, your insurance coverage? No, God forbid something happens to the car, nothing. Just you want to use your insurance coverage? And I was like, yeah. And then that was it. He moved on to the next thing. So do you think that guy that exchange before me was sexist, racist, or innocent?
I'm going with the combo of sexist and racist.
That's a strong combo. And
I'm going to say that's probably what you got there.
That's what I thought. And I was explaining this to Mrs. Cheapy, and she was unaware of the generalization that Asians are bad drivers. Because
has she never seen a stand-up comedian from 1987?
Right. I explained to her that's basically where the trope came from. But the reality is, like, you go to Japan and like people are the best drivers. Like, they don't even honk their horns at each other. It's just like smooth sailing all the way.
There's a stand-up comedian that started that.
Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I think it's older than him.
Okay. Because he did a good job on that.
I feel like even Jay Leno had an Asian driver bit.
Sure. Definitely. It was pretty popular.
Yeah, it was very common.
Right. Anyway, I didn't get to use my "What are you renting me, a Ferrari?" line, but at least I got to say it now.
You got to say it now. I was just about to say that, so could have been worse.
Anyway, I felt bad for the woman afterwards. Like, is this what she's got to go through all day? Like, people just like treating her like a child, like she can't make the decisions for herself. Or
yeah, probably.
Or maybe just being a big white guy, people just want to leave you alone. They don't want to like pressure you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, everything's fine.
Is everything fine?
Yes, with the car rental and my car. It's all over.
You had a nice weekend?
Yes. You know what happened this weekend was Ben Gilbert's New York Rowers Cup party event / award ceremony, and it got written up in the Times today.
What?
Which was crazy. And
I know. I saw that.
I know.
Really cool.
Well, I sent it to you at 7 a.m. when I saw it.
I was awake. It's not like I'm not awake.
I know. You responded immediately. You're like, whoa. Mm-hmm. And Ben was like, whoa, because I don't think he was expecting that. But the event was a huge success, and like it went off without a hitch, and everybody was happy. And I got to meet one of our CAGcast fans, Rafi, who showed up with some of his friends. And we took pictures in front of the giant. They had a giant promotional thing you could stand in front of, to take pictures that had every strain, like all 90 strains that were entered into the competition. And people were taking photographs in front of that. And that's what I did with Rafi.
Is it weird that we live in a society now where having your picture taken or being in a room where smoking weed is sort of, it's an open thing. It's not hidden. It's not scary. It's not taboo.
I think that it is still very much those things. It just depends what your job is. So like for me, if there's a picture of me smoking weed, no one's going to fire me.
That is true.
If it's my wife, she probably would not want a picture of herself smoking weed anywhere, as probably a lot of professionals wouldn't.
Sure.
And in fact, like some of the growers, I mean, it's totally different between somebody smoking weed and growing weed and selling it.
Yes.
But some of the growers at the event, when they were going to be photographed, they concealed their identity with a ski mask. I was thinking like the ski mask is like not, I mean, Mrs. Cheapy was actually explaining it to me. She thought the ski mask is not a good look. It's too threatening. You need a more just it's like bank robber.
I think even a little bit the threat is also a little intentional. I mean, these are people, they're growing. They want their identities hidden.
Right.
They don't want people coming to them and trying to steal their weed.
Well, it's only for pictures.
And,
it's weird. Like at the event, they're not wearing the mask. It's just like when the photographer comes over, they put the mask on. And you can see it. If you look for the New York Times article, you can see that in action. Anyway, it was a great event. Ben is like floating on cloud 9 right now. And
nice. And that's not just from the weed.
He's on cloud 10, actually. Yeah, he's beside himself, and I'm very proud of Ben. And who knows what's next? Probably more events, I would think.
Yeah, I know. That's awesome.
Events.
I mean, I give him so much credit. What he did something that a lot of people wouldn't do. He had a very comfortable position,
right?
That he left to follow a dream, and it got written up in the Times. So that's pretty impressive.
And one of the highlights was one of the state officials from the New York Office of Cannabis Management was actually on stage with Ben giving out the award, like announcing one of the winners and giving it. So it's, sort of got like the seal of approval from the government, which is like on his first event, like that he put together in 4 months.
Commissioner Cheech or Commissioner Chung?
No, it was the social equity. It was the social equity director. So,
hey man, I'm the weed guy.
No, that's a trope. That's like Asian drivers are bad. Just as harmful.
Have you ever seen an Asian driver? Far out, man.
They're actually pretty good. It's all a lie, man. One thing I noticed at the event was that there were a lot of disproportionately number of tall people there. People taller than me. There were a lot of like even the DJ was tall.
Stepped on.
Yes, and burned up.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm just biding time till Shipwreck gets back. Is he back yet?
That's all right.
No. It was a great event, and that's all I have to say about that. And if you want to follow New York Growers Cup on Instagram, and you can check out all the videos and photos of the weed, which is the most important part. I even got a text from somebody who I guess saw my picture on Instagram on one of the posts. He was like, "Hey, you were there." Anyway, that was Annabelle. Annabelle. Mm-hmm. Should we do some show feedback?
Sure. Gorgo had to say, nice cast all. I'm going to get slammed for this, but I have to stand up with Wombat regarding Slumberland. Cheapy was quick to dismiss a property and creator that's massively important historically to both animation and comic.
I was not, let's just be clear for a moment. I was not dismissing the creator. I was dismissing Wombat.
That's fair enough.
I don't know anything about the creator. I still don't know anything about the creator.
He goes on to say that Winsor McKay was a pioneer in animation and comic design. His influence on both mediums is huge. His gorgeous Art Nouveau styled comics elevated the medium in a way few had until modern times.
Good. I hope he's a Google Doodle someday.
I'm sure.
Maybe he was already.
I bet he was once. Because he was pretty influential. He was a big deal. Good. What I find very interesting, because I feel like this is going to happen more often as time goes on, is properties that were not in the public domain become public domain, and the creators get lost to time. And I feel like that's kind of sad. I mean, Winnie the Pooh went into public domain. Was it last year or 2 years ago?
Right.
And that's why they're making all these weird
porn movies. All those porn movies.
And horror movies, the Winnie the Pooh slasher film that's coming out next year.
Is it? Oh, wow.
So, but, they don't have to credit A.A. Milne. They just have to say Winnie the Pooh. And it's sort of weird that, these creators that, created these properties that have lasted over 100 years.
They're dead. How they should.
I know. I just think it's, a matter of respect, I guess. I don't know.
It's respectful that they're using their properties. Like, so who's next? What's the next big property that's going to come on? Like Popeye's got to be up soon, right?
Where it gets controversial is Disney has been lobbying these copyright laws for a long time.
I bet.
And they keep changing the law every time Mickey Mouse gets close to that public domain.
Right.
So, yeah. Because Mickey Mouse has gotten close a couple of times. Yeah.
I bet on Disney.
Imagine?
Yeah, I can imagine all the shit that Mickey Mouse would be. It would be great. I'd love it.
Public domain Mickey Mouse? Jeez.
Yep.
Jeez Louise.
Be
Okay.
good.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got?
Anyway, Rod Sanchez has to say that the CAGcast is my favorite online show and entertainment that I look forward to watching and listening to every week. Keep bringing on the laughs and knowledge in our crazy busy world. It's small font. It's my fault.
Well, you made this font small.
I know. I said it's my fault.
Why? It's an interesting choice of words. I feel online show and entertainment is that's either very broad or very specific, depending on how you take it.
I'm going with very broad.
Right, like online show and entertainment is like anything on Netflix. I feel.
Yes, we're better than Wednesday.
That's how I'll take it too.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Not having watched Wednesday, I'm not confident. But anyway, what else?
I'm telling you, we're better than Wednesday. Wade Skelton has to say, Wombat, dude, I watched that Wendell and Wild movie you praised. I know why it got buried. It was dookie. I'm sorry. I would still watch something you recommended, but you button hooked me on that one. Touche. Dookie. It's a good movie. It's a children's movie. I don't know. Maybe you watched it without children.
Just listen to my recommendations. I will never steer you wrong.
That is so not true.
I will tell you if you will like the movie or not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never wrong.
Never wrong?
Because I'm very careful with what I recommend.
Is that the second GBD promise?
No, it's like the fifth one. Don't ask me to list them. But I am very careful about the movies that I recommend. So if I recommend it, you know that I'm very confident you're going to like it. Unless you're Shanna fan. But I will tell you, if you're Shanna fan,
you're not going to like it.
Yeah, I'll give that's one of the promises also. I won't.
That's fair.
Yes. Just for Shanna fan.
Mm-hmm. Gets his own special.
Before we do watch this, jerks, let's tease everybody again that our faves of 2022 are coming up at the end of the year. I guess, yes, we'll have that in one show. We will announce our favorite movies and TV and games.
Wow, I have to think about stuff.
Yes, you have a little time.
Did I watch? I have to remember all the movies I watched.
Not many this year. I know I didn't watch very many.
Mm-hmm.
Some good ones, but I think it's going to be mostly TV shows for me. And probably it was like that last year.
I have to remember what TV I watched. Okay. Anyway.
Yes. Have you?
I'm like a loser this week because I really didn't watch really anything at all.
Have you not watched Welcome to Chippendales yet? I'm surprised.
No, I haven't.
We've watched all of it. We're up to date on that. And I can definitely recommend that. There's only one problem that I have with Welcome to Chippendales. You have Hulu, right?
I do.
Do you have the ad-free one or the ad one?
No, I have it with ads because it's free.
So that's the problem. The problem is they made it for the people who have the ads. So there are these abrupt ends to scenes to fit the ads in. And it really takes you out of it. Like, it's just like slam the brakes on. It's not a graceful.
Everyone knows that everyone's favorite Chippendale dancer is.
No, there's no ad. No. No. It's not that bad. It's just the scene ends. Do they
freeze frame
black.
And it says "We'll be right back" in the background?
No, it's not that bad. It's just
with like a dinosaur behind them.
I guess I'm just not used to seeing shows like that anymore, where they're clearly breaking for ads because I'm watching stuff on Netflix and HBO Max. So it's really jarring, but the show is great. It's a lot of fun. There's something about when you watch any scene where the dancers are dancing in the club and the women are going crazy. It's just so fun. Like you can see, like it just looks fun. So it's hard to not have fun watching that.
Well, I'm sure, it's fun for almost everybody on that show.
I'm saying even just watching it, like you can feel, you feel like the fun. Like it's hard not to smile watching like the women go crazy over the guys, ripping their pants off. So I would definitely recommend Welcome to Chippendales. If you have the ads, then you won't even notice the abrupt things. But if you pay for the ad-free Hulu, you're going to be like, can I pay more for them to like edit this differently?
Now, you don't have Hulu with ads. You know what Hulu does with their ads?
I don't.
Easily, a lot of people complain about it, but this I think would drive you nuts.
Yes.
So the volume for ads is about 4 times louder than the show you're watching.
That should not be legal. Didn't they? I feel like there was a court case about that.
It's not legal on television.
See, I knew it. But in the
there's
wild
no
wet
law
world
against it on streaming. It's a different medium.
Right.
So
the world of online show and entertainment.
Oh my goodness. And you just have to keep that volume box next to you, because as soon as that ad hits, you're like down, 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 down.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
See, I any ads would make me crazy at this point. I'm just so used to no ads. Anyway, watch Wombat. Watch Welcome to Chippendales. You're gonna like it.
To something.
It's fun.
I was very busy playing video games all weekend. We'll get to
video games. Fuck the video games.
I know.
You gotta watch these naked dudes, man. Come on. Did you watch the new Last of Us trailer on HBO?
No.
It's interesting. I don't think I played a little of the first Last of Us game, like on the first when it came out originally, not in one of the remasters. So I don't really know too much about it. But regardless, they did a very good job of making the movie, or at least the trailer, look like a video game. And that's a compliment. It's not. Have you ever seen a movie that recreated the look of a video game? It's not easy to do. Like when you look at it, you're not sure if you're watching the trailer for a movie or a video game. But it's all live action and it looks very good. It sounds like a criticism, but I thought they did a good job. I felt like it would be hard to pull that off.
I don't know if I'm going to watch it. I was never really that interested in the game, let alone interested in a show based on the game.
Or zombies in general, really. I don't even care if it's a game or not. Like if you just said, here's a show about zombies and like there's a girl who's zombie proof. I feel like we've seen that a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot. And certainly we've seen it in the game. So if you played some of the game, you've seen it. But anyway, the trailer looks really good. And if you're a big fan of the game, then you got to be pretty fucking excited, I would think.
Yes.
Who's that guy that plays Joel? Pablo?
Pedro Pascal. Now who's racist and sexist?
Yikes. Is he Mandalorian?
Yes.
Okay.
He is the man. He is Mando. Hey, Mando.
Yes. Oh, Van in the chat is saying that Halo felt a little bit about like the game. Yeah, I did not really watch much of that. Should we get into the new releases?
Yes.
I don't think we watched anything else. We're still watching just White Lotus. You got to watch White Lotus. Come on.
My wife watches it. She's like into it. She thinks it's great.
Yeah, but
she
now
loves that show.
But it's too late for you.
Yeah,
you have to watch the first season.
I know. But here, actually, I'll ask you. I'll throw out a toss up. Do we want to do a word from our sponsor first, or do we want to go straight into new releases?
I don't know. Let's do the new releases.
All right, we'll do the new releases. So we'll talk.
I want to make Shipwreck sit through the ad.
That's true.
Why should he escape the ad because he's not here?
Yeah, I probably should. Let's see. So what do we got? Wow, there's still DLC for Far Cry 6. That's crazy.
This is the big DLC. This is like takes place on another planet. And it's like when they do like Blood, what was that game? Blood, whatever.
Yeah, yep.
Blood Fury, Blood Dragon. It's like that. It looked cool, but I don't know. I didn't. I don't know. I
literally know nothing about it.
I think I just deleted Far Cry 6 off my hard drive after playing like through 98% of the story and just being like, I don't know that I could just play anymore. And then by the time you stop playing to go back to a game like Far Cry 6 where, okay, it's mostly just first-person shooting, but there's a lot of other stuff going on, and I don't know. It's easier just to go on to something else. Like, is the ending of the story going to be that great? Actually, they are pretty good.
Sometimes they're fun.
They are.
The ending of, oh God, what's the one? It's the one without the number, where the world blows up at the end. I mean, that's kind of crazy.
Spoil. Yes.
Whatever. That game's like 6 years old now.
Right. It was good. It was good. The endings are good. So I probably should have played it, but I'm so impatient. I don't know.
I understand.
Sometimes
Did you see they made a new Joe and Mac Caveman Ninja game?
I did not see that, and I'm not really super familiar with Joe and Mac, I have to be honest.
It's a side-scrolling platformer, very of its time from the early 90s. I'm surprised they made a new one. I don't know what about it makes it a $40 game for something that, Like, is it just a remaster of the original? I don't know. I have to look. I'm very curious about that.
We'll call Joe later.
Yep, we should call both Joe and Mac.
Yes, Mac is busy.
I have one of those little arcade cabinets. I know you have a couple of those.
Okay.
I have one that's of the Caveman Ninja.
I see.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, look who's here.
Whoa!
Hold on, give me a second to fix the situation. Oh, here it comes. Yoink.
Okay.
Oh my God! Thank goodness you're here.
We're fixed.
I was
Wombat just
running out
wouldn't
of
stop
things to say to
farting.
him.
Wombat just was
Fantastic.
farting for half an hour.
Do we need to clap or anything so that GP can join this up?
No, don't worry.
One,
I'm a ninja.
See.
No, it's not helping. It's not going to help.
I helped.
So, Ship, what do you know about this Joe and Mac remake that came out this week? For
I heard it's fantastic.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Hold on. Stop the press. The first question is, how many drinks deep is Ship right now? That's question number one, because his voice sounds very different to me. I don't know if you picked up on it.
It's not the number of drinks.
It's the amount of talking.
It's the amount of talking in a loud bar environment.
It's the worst.
Right?
It is the worst.
So
get right on that mic so you don't have to talk loud. If you get real
right
close.
on the mic.
Yeah, just
that
open your mouth.
smooth, gravelly sound that I have right now.
You have real you sound a little sexy tonight.
I feel like how many cigarettes did you smoke?
I always sound sexy.
No, you don't.
No, this is okay.
This is like a whole different thing.
This is doing it for you.
It's a different vibe.
It's Say, tell me that I'm your first, your last, your everything.
You've always been that one, bet.
That sounds like 3 cigarettes smoked.
Yeah,
3 cigarettes.
Like I just it was like a
4
whole
beers.
carton of Marlboro Lights.
4 beers, 3 cigarettes. That's my tally.
Yeah. No, so I was late to the show because I'm changing jobs, and tonight was my happy hour, and so it started at like 4:30 and it went till 9.
Wow.
It was more than 4 beers. I was way off. It was like 7 cigarettes.
So people actually like you? Is that what that means?
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird. Like I planned it to be like, it was supposed to be like an hour and a half, right? Like,
was there food at least?
There ended up being some because there was just like appetizers type of stuff.
Okay,
right?
No, that's fine as long as you're not just drinking, because that's sloppy. No,
I'm fine. Like I am well below my limit, right? Like I'm not.
What is your limit, by the way? We were talking about that earlier.
Is that what the first half hour of the show was about? Was what my limit was?
Yeah, it was how much can you drink before you've had too much to drink?
I have only been drunk like maybe 2 times ever.
What?
So yeah, I've never thrown up from drinking.
What?
I've only been hungover twice, I would say.
Wow.
So
that's less than She-Hulk.
I have a high tolerance. I also just cannot I can't put enough beer down fast enough, right? To get drunk off beer.
Right.
So it usually requires some kind of bourbon where I don't know my limits as well around bourbon. But
we're learning a lot.
No,
so
I told you all this a half hour ago, and you told me I was a liar.
No, Wombat did say that you don't get drunk.
I don't. I'm. It as weird as you think the Marvel episodes are for all the drinking. I'm like, I don't know. This is fine. I don't.
Right, but they get they're drunk and they're hungover.
I have another friend who's just like that too. It was very annoying when we were in college.
Wow, it's like the opposite.
This is like my 4th beer tonight.
Oh, it's close.
It's fine. Like I was there for 4.5 hours. I had 3 beers. Like,
well, 1 beer an hour is not a big deal.
Yeah, drink faster. You're doing it wrong.
I can't.
Why not?
My body will not allow me to drink fast enough.
What does this even mean? If you drink it fast, it'll be fast enough.
But I don't feel like I don't have the need to like just like down this beer.
You're doing it wrong. That's not how you get drunk.
You're doing it just fine.
Anheuser-Busch would not approve.
Means
how are they going to put their kids through college with that type of attitude?
Right. When I'm drinking, I'm not looking to get drunk.
What?
Right? Like
you like the taste?
I like the taste.
No,
I like I don't know,
there's the buzz.
The ever so slight buzz, but that takes the buzz doesn't hit until at least 3 beers in for me.
Oh my God. I don't.
So-
I get drunk like right away, and then
I'm
sick
sure I
right
would
away.
get high right away. Like
Right.
I'm sure if like I looked at marijuana, I would be instantly high.
We talked about Ben's event earlier. If you were just in the room, he would be high instantly.
Right. Yeah. I would have been totally just
from
cloud
smelling
nine
Otto's
being
jacket.
at that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
But no, my voice is because I was
Smoking
in
crack.
a loud environment and I was like the main speaker,
Ugh.
right? Like talking to everybody.
So
the whole
long,
time.
suckers.
You've heard this voice in
Good
E3
luck.
before. You've heard this voice.
Right. I have.
Like this is the all day like talking is
It's clearing up.
No, it's not.
it just needs more alcohol on top of it. I think that's what it is.
Someone in the van in the chat wrote Ship's audio is weird. But it's not. That's what he sounds like now.
No, Ship is weird.
Ship has high tech equipment. It's picking him up just fine.
Right. Yeah. It's all good.
All right, we're in the new releases. We were just talking about, I
awesome.
think, Far Cry 6, the Lost Between Worlds DLC. Did you know that they put out like one of those like game add-ons where it's like they're on the moon or some shit? Like, I think they're like, yeah, it's like trippy. It's like space trippy.
I didn't know
Okay.
this either. Chippy had to inform me. Other than that, let's see what else we have this week. The Callisto Protocol, I believe, is a big release. I think I heard it's very short.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's encouraging. That might make me check it out because it's on Game Pass, right?
No.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah.
Is this
it's
the
a
one that's like
$60
Dead
release.
Space?
Huh?
Yeah, this
like-
is the Dead
yeah.
Space people.
Okay.
This is the Dead Space style game where I think they said they were approached to put it on Game Pass and they declined. Was, I believe, the alleged thing that they said it didn't work for them. So we'll see how it does. With it not how long it takes it to show up on Game Pass. So
Right,
yeah.
right. As you can, cross your fingers probably.
you can set your watch to that.
So it's either $70 or it didn't work for them on Game Pass.
Basically.
That's my choices.
Yep. Hello Neighbor 2. Are you guys into Hello Neighbor?
No, that's like a kid's thing.
Yeah, kids are totally into that. I don't know if they still are. I remember when my son thought it was cool.
Right.
That was like 2 years ago.
Right.
So who knows?
Probably people still like it. Young people.
Are we ready for the big release of the week?
Sure.
Are we going to talk about Marvel's Midnight Suns?
Sure.
Do you know that I have Marvel's Midnight Suns?
Yes. Because you
Yeah, so
said
friends-
you said I stayed up all night playing Marvel Midnight Suns.
That's right. Our friends at 2K were kind enough to send me a code for Marvel's Midnight Suns, which I've thoroughly played the crap out of, and I don't know if I've even scratched the surface on it, which is both great and scary all at the same time. It turns out, well, on Friday when I received the code, my daughter was going to see a Broadway show with her Broadway thing, and she wasn't going to be home until like 12:30. And my wife was like, "Are you going to be able to wait up for her?" And I'm like, "I guess so." And that's when I popped on Midnight Suns
Wait up.
and found yeah, wait up.
Okay, go
Make
on.
sure she gets home safe.
I don't do that.
Well, I do.
I got to sleep.
You don't have a daughter though. I think
Right.
it's different.
Go on. Sorry.
So anyway, I didn't like the time went by like that when I started playing it. It's very reminiscent of Dragon Age, particularly the first Dragon Age.
You said something about this, and that changed my view on this because that is not what this was advertised. This was advertised as XCOM.
I know, and there's XCOM in there. There's a little bit of XCOM, there's a little bit of Dragon Age, there's a little bit of it's a Marvel game still. It's got all your favorite Marvel characters, like
Weird versions of them.
not necessarily.
I feel
character-
like I've been advertised this entirely the wrong way.
No, and you're not wrong. There are definitely some things they did with this game that they probably shouldn't have, like the cover of the box art where it shows the characters in the Midnight Suns costumes. I haven't even unlocked those yet. That's like
What are the
game.
Midnight Suns? I don't understand what this
Okay.
is.
The Midnight Suns are a team from the early 90s. They were an actual superhero team that consisted of Blade and Ghost Rider and I don't know, other people like Blade and Ghost Rider. Those are the two that are in the game.
They're early 90s characters.
Yeah.
Characters that were
Well,
hot in the early 90s.
they have Magic, who is Colossus
Yeah.
I do know Colossus. Yeah.
Colossus isn't in the game, but his sister Magic is. And Magic is a new mutant that's popular with a lot of people. But it's definitely a weird choice. The same thing with
Is it
Nico.
spelled with a K?
Yeah. Yes. Magic.
Of course it is.
Well, because otherwise they'd have to write Marvel's Magic.
Marvel's Magic. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Midnight Suns are these four people in the game. It's Blade, it's Ghost Rider, it's Magic with a K, and it's Nico, one of the runaways who has a magic staff. Okay, those are the four Midnight Suns. 2 people you've heard of, 2 people you haven't. Very quickly, I mean, literally, the whole point, the first mission of the game.
It's got Spider-Man in it, right?
Spider-Man shows up fairly quickly.
Of course he does.
He's not a starting character, but he's like a 4 mission.
This is so weird. Like, why do they keep doing these like things like Gotham Knights and Midnight Sun? Like, just give us what we want.
Spider-Man. Well, put Spider-Man in the game more.
I'm gonna say in a game that's like probably 50 hours long, after 2 hours you could play as Spider-Man.
It's such a weird thing to go with in the first place, though. Like, if you look at the audience for this thing.
Well, you're not letting me finish. I'm saying from the very beginning of the game, the characters you have are those 4 plus Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Captain Marvel. That's who you start with. So it's the 4 Midnight Suns and 3 Avengers. And when you go on a mission, you're only taking 3 characters. You have a character that's the Hunter. That's this character they made up for the game, which almost sounds like a bad idea, and I'm actually going to say it's not a bad idea. So it has your standard create a character screen, you create your character, and you're walking through this. It's the Abbey is the hub world, this Abbey, this big giant house, and you're talking to people, and it's very much like that part's very much like Dragon Age. You're talking to all the characters. Are you
boning everybody?
You're not boning everybody, but it does have the friendship stuff that Dragon Age has. Like, they totally ripped off, the friendship stuff from Dragon Age. Make them your friends. The better they are your
boning
friend.
Anybody?
Come on, it's a Marvel game. You're not going to be boning.
I know, but they kind of like hint at it, like Captain Marvel is very flirty with you. So who knows. So so you play as the Hunter.
You're not boning,
but you don't
Captain
even
Marvel.
have to be the Hunter in combat. Like, if you're like, the Hunter's stupid, I want to be Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Captain America, you could be Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Captain America.
You probably can bone the Hunter, I'm thinking.
The Hunter has really good moves and is really powerful in combat. So she's worth taking on your missions. So just saying. Well, I'm playing the Hunter as a she, but you can make your Hunter a he, but whatever, doesn't matter.
Nice.
I went with a she Hunter because
what are you hunting?
You're hunting the first leg of the game. You're hunting Hydra.
That's good.
Yeah. Easy. Hydra with Crossbones, Dr. Faustus, and Venom, who's been infected with the nonsense.
The nonsense?
It's so weird. Like, it's just.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely weird. Here's what I'm gonna say. Don't think about the story. This game, you're not playing this game for the story. You're playing this game because you want to play a turn-based strategy game where Spider-Man, Captain America, and the Hunter beat up Venom and some Hydra agents. And it's very satisfying to complete a mission. There's a satisfaction about, getting your moves right, getting those KOs, and going, and moving on and unlocking more doodads. There's a lot of doodads to unlock. There's a lot of, like I said, the combat is very satisfying. It works with like a card system, but the card system, again, it's one of those things where it sounds like, oh, cards. It's not like Magic. You're not playing a card and they're playing a card. It's not
with
like
a K.
Yeah, it's cards of the K.
No,
your cards are literally just your moves. They didn't have to be cards. It's a fine system that they use. I'm not against it. It's just they use cards to show what your moves can be. If you're So,
How
there's
many
lots of
currency systems are in this game?
I was going to get to it. That's where the bad comes in.
Of course it is.
Yeah, no, you totally nailed it. The game itself,
I can understand what this game is. It's just, it seems like it's a game that's just tripping over itself at every possible moment.
you know what? There's a streamline. If they streamline some parts of this game, then yes, it would be significantly better. I think the parts in the Abbey where you're walking around and talking to everybody and trying to make friends, they did a really good job on that. The combat is very satisfying, and the fighting and the variety in the characters, they're all done so well. It's honestly, I would describe it, it's really excellent. And that's, 80% of this game. 80% of this game is really, really well done. And then you have this problem where it's like, okay, I unlocked the tech. I'm going to go to the tech table. If you played XCOM, this will sound familiar to you. You go to the tech table, you choose the thing you want to unlock. And, it takes a day in game time, you go to sleep and wake up, not real time, and you get your thing, and that's fine. But then it's like, okay, I did the tech. I chose what I wanted. I got the tech thing, and now I'm going to go use it. It's in the yard. And then I go to the yard and it's like, hey, you unlock this tech thing. It's going to cost you 100 gold if you want to use it. I'm like, what? Why does it? What is gold? We're just no one
doesn't even
mentioned
make
100.
sense. Like
Yeah.
in this Marvel universe.
It's essential to Spider-Man lore. He's always
looking for
like,
gold.
I just did the mission
Professor
to
X.
unlock the tech. I waited the day, and now you're telling me I gotta find gold to spend to do it, and it's like, you gotta do that.
That's why you gotta take pictures for Jameson.
Yeah,
Jameson pays you in gold for his pictures so you can upgrade your tech.
Well, he could also pay me in glimmer.
Oh,
which is another currency inside this game. Because if let's say you get someone from friendship level 1 to level 2, and you unlock you unlock a new costume color.
Is this game
for Blade?
Fun? Is it fun?
The game is so much fun.
Good.
No,
this description of it is the opposite of it to me.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's like they bogged it down with this whole nonsense of unlocking things, and everyone I've spoken to about the game literally says the same thing. It's like, I got Blade from friendship level 1 to friendship level 2. I enjoyed doing that. That was a good time. Getting Blade to be my friend. We hung out. We went fishing. I'm not making that up. You could go fishing with Blade, and you can give him a present.
Wow.
And Blade says, "Thank you so much. My name is Blade, and we are friends now." And you're like, yeah, I'm friends with Blade. And you feel satisfied that you became friends with Blade. And it's like, yeah, now you can dress me up in not just this costume, but in all white. Isn't that cool? And I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool. Yeah, all you need is 200 shimmer, and you can have the all white version of my costume.
Is shimmer different than glimmer? You added another
No,
one.
did I say shimmer? And I don't know. It's one or the other. Whatever it is. I don't know. I don't care. It's like
that's how you can tell I'm listening to you, Wombat.
Right.
I know.
I
picked up on that too.
Shimmer and glimmer.
No, I heard that too.
But it's like I put in all the work and I got this unlock, and now you're telling me there's this another. No, you need a currency. You can't. So the thing is, like, you only have so much of this currency, but I become friends with a lot of people.
Do they know you paid $70 for this game already? Because it
sounds
let me play
like
the game.
Exactly, and it's a little frustrating, and it's like cheapy with the DLC for Forza. Remember when there was that time when you got the cars in Forza DLC, and instead of them just giving you the cars,
right,
you had to like get the game currency to unlock the cars that you paid for.
They changed this the way it worked because the people said this is stupid.
Right.
Exactly.
Now it works fine. Yeah.
They're literally doing the same. They do the same thing in this game. And I feel like I'm over talking this part of the game because there's so much good in the game. Like I said, the actual gameplay is really engaging and it's a lot of fun. And I just opened the second biome. Guess what, Chip? The second biome is the desert. So you can see all the brown. Avengers fighting in the brown.
I spent some time in Utah this week with Marvel's Avengers, and Bucky got released, the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
We played some Winter Soldier.
Shot people?
He shot and stabbed robots with his knife.
So it's very similar and I don't want to say it's similar to the Avengers game because it isn't, but it's turn-based. It's turn-based. I mean, and they even stripped down the combat to a point where you're just focusing on doing the combat. Like you could only move once. Like you can't, like, it's not about moving your characters around and finding high ground, which is more of an XCOM kind of thing. It's a lot more like if you decide to do turn-based style combat in Dragon Age, which is a little bit simpler, and it's a lot of big spells that fill up the screen and that kind of thing. So if that's what you're into, which I am, you're going to find that to be a much better way of handling the combat. I think it works really well. I think, talking to all the characters and going through the whole RPG portion of the game works really well. The storyline is irrelevant, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I know what it is. I'm the hunter. My mother is Lilith. Lilith is trying to take over the world by turning everyone into demons, and I gotta stop her.
Who's Lilith?
Lilith she's a biblical character
from Darkstalkers.
Yeah, it's the same character. It literally
Chip's
is the
right
same
though.
character.
Like can't they just use someone that people have heard of? Aren't they going to sell more copies of the game?
I mean,
like
Lilith is an agent of the demon Chthon. Chthon is a Marvel demon.
No one wants. I don't want to play Chthon. I will play Dungeons and Dragons if I want to fight Chthon.
That's what I'm saying. But you got, but all the other, your familiar villains, they all show up.
Not Chthon.
You got Sabretooth, and you got Venom, and you got
those I heard of.
Crossbones, and Dr.
Crossbones
Faustus.
is pushing it. Fucking don't go below Crossbones. Crossbones is...
Shocker.
Shocker's not in it. No, they use Crossbones in place of Shocker.
Shocker's better than Crossbones.
Crossbones is like the Shocker of this game.
When did Crossbones become a thing? Why do we have so much Crossbones?
Because he was in 2 Captain America movies.
I know, but why was he in those as well? Like,
he was popular at the time
because you could make his outfit very cheaply. It's just some little spray paint and a helmet. And body armor. People
are into that. But it's a really good game. I don't want to sell it short. The
Wombat.
problem literally is that overbogged currency nonsense,
right?
Which is unnecessary in a game that people paid for.
Carlos in the chat says that Patrick Klepek also mentioned that the story is basically the most important part of the game. So it's confusing what I'm hearing.
Well, I mean, you're talking to someone who generally doesn't care about the story.
Are you skipping through the dialogue?
Oh, I skipped through like half of it.
Okay. There you go, Carlos.
I mean, I read it on the bottom. I just, I read fast.
You have to remember, Carlos, how Wombat goes through these games. He goes right through the dialogue. Is there's voice acting for everything?
Yes, there's voice acting for everything.
Little side dialogue? Okay.
No, there's no still frame comic book. Like, they don't do that nonsense. There's no like just text. There's all dialogue. Everything is rendered.
See Spider-Man's lips moving.
He's actually Peter Parker. When he's in the Abbey, he's Peter Parker. So he wears jeans and a sweatshirt that says whatever the college he goes to on it. I forget. Empire State College.
Yes.
On the sweatshirt. So yes, then you see his mouth move. So, yeah, no, I mean, they do a lot of things really well. I think they actually do Spider-Man really well in this game. He's grad student aged. That comes up. I know what age Spider-Man is important to you, Ship.
Hot Spider-Man.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bordering on the too old Spider-Man.
It's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like right there. It's right on the cusp, but it's also like not high school age where it's creepy that he's, flirts with the hunter. So, you want to make sure that you're treading that line. Although he is very committed to MJ, as he lets you know. So, so there's that. But no, they do a good job with him. He's like one of his moves, because like I said, you could only move once, but Spider-Man has a card where you could move him like 3 times because he's Spider-Man and he can whip around the board a little bit. There's environmental attacks, which are really satisfying to do. And when each character does it, they do their own version. Like if there's a rock on the ground and you have Spider-Man throw the rock at someone, he's going to shoot a web at it and whirl it around and hit someone with it. But if you do the same move with Captain America, he's just going to pick it up and throw it at someone. It's, different characters, but the moves make sense. So I don't know. It's a really good game. I played a little bit of it even before we did the show. I highly recommend it. I've talked about it for a long time, but they did send me a copy, so I guess it's fair. And
for them, what about us?
For them, But no, I do. I recommend it if you like Marvel, Dragon Age, and XCOM. If
And
those are
Lilith.
three
If you're a
things
big fan of Lilith, you're gonna really enjoy.
I mean, if you're not like a
Lilith.
complete downer, then you'll probably enjoy the game.
Does she pull out a guitar and start like strumming and?
No, she's like a big demon lady. She's who corrupts things. She corrupted Venom and made Venom her slave.
Nice. Is there anything else in new releases?
Nope.
I think that's
We're
good.
talking
Right?
about that Need for Speed game.
We talked about it last week.
Yeah.
It's very mediocre. It's
Ship,
fine.
are you ready to read the ad? Because you were late, so you have to read the ad.
I don't know that's how it works, but
Okay.
well, Spider-Man's here.
Hey, it's
Hey,
me,
sir.
Spider-Man.
Woohoo! Anyway, let's talk about our friends at HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. It's the most festive time of the year, and HelloFresh is here to make the most of every moment. From holiday hosting to dinners during busy weeknights, you can count on HelloFresh to deliver fresh ingredients and seasonal recipes. 'Tis the season for saving money wherever you can. HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% less expensive than takeout, so you can use those savings for holiday gifts or to treat yourself. HelloFresh can help you eat better amid all the holiday temptations. Their meals have 20% fewer calories than takeout, so you can have full flavor just without the guilt. Whether you're hosting a holiday party or just stocking up for snacks, you'll find everything you need at the HelloFresh Market, from quick breakfasts to charcuterie boards and desserts. It's never been easier to prep for a party or fill your pantry. Tonight for dinner, I had the lemon chicken orzo soup. I don't know if you've had that.
I have not.
It is so good. Like, so good that not only, like, my wife, she put the soup in the bowls. She put the soup in the bowls. She finished her bowl, and then she started eating out of my bowl. And I was like, what's going on here? She's like, I can't help it. It's that good. That's how good the orzo soup is. The chicken orzo, lemon chicken orzo soup. I highly recommend it. Like, anytime it's an option, pick it. Oh, all my lights just went off. Anyway, go to HelloFresh.com/CAGcast18 and use code CAGcast18 for 18 free meals plus free shipping. Again, go to HelloFresh.com/CAGcast18 and use code CAGcast18 for 18 free meals plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
Oh, I mean, nice.
Yes.
All right.
Alexa, turn on all the lights.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Wow. Wait, did they just turn off by themselves? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I was sitting too still.
My watch tells me when I do that.
Yeah.
Tells me-
Wait, you have sensors for how still you sit?
If the room thinks there's no one in it, it turns off the lights.
The room thinks?
Yeah, my room thinks.
You have a smart room?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Is that the clapper?
Maybe.
All right. Where are we here? We're at Wombat's Fortnightly News.
Fortnightly. I know, and now I have to talk more. I feel like I'm talking too much. Ship, why'd you come back?
Wait, am I causing you to talk too much?
Yes, you're causing
Talk
me.
about Fortnite. You don't have to talk about Fortnite. It'll be okay.
I mean, I'll just briefly mention that the new season of Fortnite started over the weekend.
And that it sucks. Right?
It's probably the best looking game on consoles right now.
It had a big update. I saw the Unity
Big
update.
all new engine. It's the only game running on that version of whatever the Epic engine is. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a whole new island. I'm still getting used to the new island. There are some good changes, like I said, new island. I don't really love all the weapons, at least not yet, but it's early. They'll change that as the season progresses, so I'm not too worried about it. The big rumor is that they're changing how they do quest lines in the game, and it may be for the worse. I'm curious to see if they stick with it. Previously in Fortnite, you would get each week, you get a list of challenges to do to get XP, but they don't expire until the season ends. So if you're someone like my son who has a life outside of Fortnite and doesn't do any of the challenges until
But
like
unlike
3
me.
days before the season ends. Yeah, unlike me. Well, that's just it. He would stockpile his challenges and just do them all in like an afternoon.
Right.
You won't be able to do that anymore because they're going to expire after a week.
Right.
And people aren't too happy about that. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And I'll find out
Why
tomorrow.
are they making this game less friendly, Wombat? It seems like it's a bold move by Fortnite at this point.
Exactly. This went from a game that's more user friendly than any of the free to play games on the market to being weirdly not anymore, and people are very confused. Again, we don't know this for a fact. I'll know if you're listening to this when this is up on, your favorite podcast app.
I'm listening right now.
I know, not you.
Me?
Not you. But yeah, I hope that it's just a rumor and it's not true, or they change their mind at some, within the week if people complain too much. But because I think they want people to finish their season pass. I don't think they want, and then, they could tell, so I don't know. Because if people start to get frustrated, I feel like they're going to drop or just, not keep up with it. You got to keep people on the line, Epic.
Yes.
We'll see how it goes. That's it. We can move on now.
Speaking of on the line, Microsoft has agreed to put Call of Duty on the Switch for the next 10 years. They want to demonstrate that they can be good boys and that their merger should be approved. And
Sony, the Switch version of Call of Duty would look like at this point.
Garbage, but that's not the point. The point is now when Sony goes to the people in the UK that are keeping this merger from happening, and they're like, it's going to be a monopoly. Microsoft says, hey, it's not a monopoly. We made agreements already with Nintendo and with Steam. And, and especially the stuffy old men in Parliament who probably have never heard of anything other than a Nintendo. We're going to be like, oh, it's on a Nintendo, so it's got to be everywhere. I mean, it's a pretty savvy move by Microsoft.
And you saw that, like, Steam, like Gabe was like, you don't need any agreement. Put the game on Steam or don't put the game on Steam. We're not going to, you don't need to send us over anything. You can do whatever you want.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will do whatever they want.
Yeah, right. But it's just to end that argument that Sony has that it's a monopoly.
Of course,
and now
it's a great idea.
You can't say it's a monopoly, when it's on.
You can't either.
Three out of the 4 major consoles.
Yes, yeah, it's a good move, smart move,
very savvy.
What about Microsoft's move to raise the price of their games from $60 to $70?
I have Game Pass.
Right. It's like a non-move.
It's a smart move to get people to sign up for Game Pass.
Yeah, it's just a game. It's a Game Pass play.
It's smart. And especially since Sony's already doing it and all the big third-party publishers are doing it.
Yep. Might as well.
Otherwise, it makes the games look like they're too cheap and not as good as the PlayStation first-party games.
Is that a fact?
I think so. Perception.
Which they've already admitted.
What's that? Oh.
Which Microsoft already admitted as part of the Activision.
Right.
They said, hey, our games aren't as good as Sony's.
Right. We need to get these.
They're not. Their first party games are not as good as.
You can point to the Metacritic.
I didn't know.
I think Forza's up there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like Forza's way up there as far as this is on par or better than the Gran Turismo series, right? Like they're comparable at least.
Yes. Better.
But it's an opinion.
Yes.
Right. Like
the correct one.
But it's at least one that you can point to and hey, there's an opinion here.
Yes.
That you could either like Gran Turismo or Forza better. They're on par with each other.
It is a fair thing to have an opinion on 100%. And I apologize in advance for all the noise that's going to happen in the background of my house.
What's happening?
My daughter's going to walk through the door any second now, and she's going to walk in, and the dogs are going to go nuts.
Oh my God. I can't wait. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got?
Something about Summer Game Fest.
It's the week before E3, I think, or 2 weeks before E3, something like that. Right before.
How's that
Right.
going to work?
People are going to stay out there, I guess. I don't know. Is it right? Is it right before? I don't think it's right before. It's like a week before. Right? You read it because I don't want to read it.
So it's going to kick off on June 8th, and then E3 is in June as well, right?
Right. It's like the 13th or something. Seems like it's later. It seems like it's later, so you'd have to come back. You wouldn't just hang out there for a day.
E3, yeah, E3 is June 13th through the 16th. So it's 5 days previous, which means
too long. Too much games.
oh,
Some people are going to be there for a week
Good luck.
looking at the games.
but how much stuff is going to
Oh wait, Shipwreck just did Facepalm.
Yeah, like how much stuff is going to be announced during the Keeley Fest versus how much stuff is going to wait to E3? Like,
What do you think?
Well, we don't even know how E3 is going to be because
They
E3
announced
isn't
it.
what E3 used to be.
I think it will.
I think they'll do the same thing.
I think
We'll
that
find out.
E3 going to come back with the same type of thing. I mean, they've announced what it is. They've got a new company running it, but it still has the industry days and everything. And it's still the premier event, right? Like
Yes.
the Keeley Fest is different. Like it goes into a different level of like detail and interviews with people that is not like, hey, here's a big new game announcement. Like it's a different PR structure around it.
Here's a small game announcement.
Yeah.
Some big game announcements. I don't know. You going to go to E3 this year?
Are we going to go to E3 this
Yeah.
year?
Are we?
We should decide.
Are we going to go to Summer Game Fest?
No,
Okay.
we're not going to
We
Summer
can
Game
decide
Fest.
that right now.
I'll decide that right now. But
Okay,
no,
fair enough.
that is not the. I'll go to E3 if it exists, and we can still get badges.
Right.
Badges? We don't need no
I
stinking
think you
badges.
do. I think you do need the badges.
Yeah.
Who's running it? Is it the Penny Arcade people? Company?
Yes.
Read
Is it
whatever.
Max?
Read
It's
something.
it's
Read Pop. Read.
Read Pop?
yeah. It's the Read Pop.
All right. What else we got here? We talked about No, we didn't talk about Marvel Snap. You hate it now,
No.
right?
It's not that I hate it now. That's not fair. I still play it, regularly. I do the little challenges just because it's fun and it's a diversion, when I'm waiting for things. But
Like the
or
poop
if
to
my
come out of your butt.
like the poop to come out of my butt, or if my wife is like, I just want to watch the last half hour of this Hallmark movie. Like, all right, I'll play some Marvel Snap.
Right.
That's when that comes out. So it's good for that. The problem is with that game now, and I feel like it's like for everything that's fun, there's problems. First of all, it's a free to play game, so it's going to be different.
Has all those problems.
It has all those problems. The season passes, although you can get to level 50 pretty easily and fairly quickly. They're also really short seasons, and they're $10 each. This game has been out for what? A month maybe?
Yeah.
And they've already had 3 season passes for $10 each. And I bought the first one because obviously I didn't know there was going to be, like I said, I said that on the show.
$10?
Yeah, $10 because I was enjoying the game and it's a free to play game and it's a small
okay.
group.
I'm
But
not
I'm
judging.
like, it was more of a tip than it was me buying the season pass for the stuff.
Sure.
I didn't care about the
Fair
stuff.
enough.
So
Fair
much.
enough.
So I haven't bought the other 2 season passes because again, it's just too many season passes, way too fast. I don't need anything in these season passes. It's not like I'm looking at it going, yes, I need this. And, if I were to do this, at their current rate, $120 a month to get all the season passes is a little ridiculous. Also, when you hit a certain level in the game, which, I'm going to throw a number out there and you're going to make a face. When you hit like level 1,000.
Wait, what level are you at? That's the level that you're at? 1,000?
I'm over 1,000.
Oh my fuck.
card level.
It seems like a lot. I mean, I'm not familiar with the game.
That's what
but
I'm going to say. This is going to sound like a lot, and it's not as much as you think it is. You could hit 1,000 faster than you think. Card level 1,000.
I mean, I agree that you could hit 1,000 faster than I think, but I don't know that.
Yeah, I was waiting for the face. It was worth it just for the faces.
1,000's good.
But the pool 1 cards and the pool 2 cards, you get a lot. You get cards fast and you get cards often. And then when you get to pool 3, where you get the rarer cards, or even in some cases the better cards,
like Lilith,
like Death, which I guess would be an equivalent to Lilith. Exactly.
Why? There's too many Dungeons and Dragons characters in Marvel. What are they doing? Don't they have enough of their own superheroes? Why do we need to go to the fantasy world? Is Dracula in the game? Like, what's happening?
I have Dracula.
See, this is like, come on.
I have the Dracula card.
Come on.
And but getting the new cards is now a fewer and far between kind of a thing, where opening boxes and the random loot generation, it's not exciting or fun, because you're not going to get anything good anymore. And it's like, oh, look, I got boosters for strong guy. It's like, oh, I can't wait to not use those. Right. It's like it's just kind of at this point it's like I'm just kind of it's fun to play the game. It's still a fun game, but they need to tighten up level 3. So
isn't that commercial from G4?
That was that. Yes. That
okay.
was the commercial.
Speaking of Dracula, let's hear more about Vampire Survivors. I want to hear Shipwreck's hot tips, because the man cannot be defeated by the vampires. He is the only vampire survivor.
You beat the game.
I did. I beat the game. I got all the achievements.
What? You're not human.
This is like getting to 1,000, and
except less.
It's easier.
It's faster.
It's easier to get to 1,000.
The problem is that it's in bite-sized portions that I can achieve things in on a consistent basis, and there's a checklist, right? So I'm just going to play through that if I'm enjoying it, until it's done.
Like Tony Hawk.
Correct. It's got the Tony Hawk vibe to it, to where it's like, here's the things. There's a short period of time that you're going to be playing. It's a set period of time. You know what you're going to invest here, and you're going to go through multiple runs of it to get the things. And there's enough exploration with the different combination of items that it's all doable. I broke the game at one point where I just had to kill myself
because you were too powerful. You couldn't die,
because I had combined things in a way that would never summon. I could never defeat the red death to get to the gray death that is undefeatable from my knowledge. So I had powered up in a way that could constantly keep my character alive. Like I was out past 65 minutes is where I called it. Like I went past an hour and I'm like, I didn't do anything. So I'm just going to put my controller down and go get some more coffee.
Yeah.
And it
as the game was meant to be played and enjoyed.
Correct. So I put the controller down, made some coffee. It kept going. And then I'm like, all right.
Vampire coffee break as they go.
I just got to quit out because it's not going to, there's nothing here for me. Like
it's going nowhere.
It's going, yeah, nothing's
what
happening.
What level did you hit? What was your level number when you played for
over 65? It was only like 79, level 79.
I don't think I've ever gotten to level 20. So
I've gotten to level 500 or so. So yeah, there's a lot to unlock. I like that game a lot.
Do you have every perk? Like every
just everything. He just said he unlocked everything.
I don't have everything because there's still, I think there's some characters that I could still unlock that earn title achievements. And I could still earn more money to, like, you keep on unlocking perks and levels of perks, right?
Yes.
Like as you go through. I have the majority of them. There's a couple of them that I haven't maxed out all the way because you don't need them. Like, right, like there's no drive behind it. Like if there's no achievements to get, and I'm just like, there's not really a point. Like I'll unlock whatever characters left. There's DLC coming out.
$2 too. It's nice. It's well priced.
I'm down for $2 more of Vampire Survivors. It got to the point like I got like a minor eye infection, and I think it was because of this game and the non-blinking that I was doing and the constantly looking at this game on the 100-inch screen, right? Like, because you sit down and it's somewhere between 30 and 35 minutes, right, per round.
When you play.
I like how this is almost the exact opposite of the game that I was playing over the weekend. How your game is, because yours is constant moving and no blinking, and mine is like
constantly skipping dialogue.
Constantly skipping dialogue, but I mean the actual combat, it's just is like, okay, let's see what move do I want to do, and you can take as much time as you want, and no one's moving at all. There's no movement on screen until I decide someone does movement on screen. The exact opposite. It couldn't be any more opposite.
Yeah.
Makes me laugh.
Yeah, there's a lot, like as simple as the game it is, it's just so well done. Like,
yeah. Cool.
I can't really find like I had some areas where I finally got some slowdown and it locked up and I had to like close out just because there was just too much crazy going on the screen.
Wow. Did you record any of that or no?
No.
Oh.
No.
You should double click the button and record a little.
Cool, I don't know how to do that stuff.
It's probably on YouTube anyway. Somebody else is probably good.
Yeah. There's plenty of people that could, but like,
okay.
like there was stuff like it was just like going like 1 frame per second. Like it was just like there was just too much going on. Like I had to quit out at that point too because the game just like, nope, you leveled up this character in a way that you broke the game.
Right. It wasn't intended.
It wasn't intended to be in this state.
Yeah. I told Mrs. Cheapy about your prowess in this game and it made me feel like less of a man. She's like, Ship is lasting like fucking an hour. She knows, she watched me get to 23 minutes and she knows like that was like a real strain for me. It was like running a marathon. And I don't even need to play anymore.
You haven't played it anymore? Like you don't understand, like you haven't gotten into like how the weapons upgrade?
Not really. I haven't read anything and I don't know. I don't know.
I didn't read a lot until I got like, I had like a few achievements to get and I'm like, all right, what do I have to do to get these achievements? Like, because it was like, I think I'm doing the thing, but it's not unlocking. Or it's like beat 6,000 of like whatever enemy this is. I'm like, I don't know what enemy that is. Like I'm just shooting everything that's on screen.
Yeah, it's fun game. It's a quality product.
Game. Yeah, I may have missed this early in the show, but did we explain why Wombat's dressed like Cheapy?
With camo?
No, I like the sweatshirt.
Right. I don't have much camo these days. Like, it just hasn't been in the Nike lineup recently, so I haven't been able to get any.
I got this sweatshirt at Target, I think before, like when the weather was changing and everything went on clearance that was warm. I bought this sweatshirt at Target for like $3. I think it was like a $30 sweatshirt.
What is this tweet on the outline?
Oh, did you see? Okay, so this guy, does it have his name? John Garvin was the, I think the writer or director of Days Gone, game Days Gone.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah, and a
biker
few
zombie
other,
game.
Yeah, and a few other games you heard of. And someone asked him, what went wrong with Days Gone? And he said the game was buggy, and there's two reasons were the game was buggy at launch, and there were too many woke reviewers. Too many woke reviewers that couldn't handle a tough white man leading a game. Yeah, yes. There's I couldn't find a good screenshot of that tweet. I know it's floating around. He has since deleted the tweets and locked his account.
Imagine that.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I remember when the reviews came out, and I don't know if it was so much like it wasn't.
There was so much like this guy is not gay enough in the reviews. Like that was the leading line. Like this guy on the motorcycle is too manly,
right,
and not gay enough. I remember that specifically about Days Gone.
Right. Yeah, it was a very strange
I mean, there was like some. I remember the
The guy
complaint
fighting
was
zombies. Like, what does this
Right.
have to do with anything like woke?
I
No.
remember the complaints weren't that the guy wasn't woke. It was that like he was like he wasn't that pleasant as like a protagonist. I feel or something like that. It wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know. He just he
Did he wear a do-rag?
I'm saying when the reviews came out, I remember that was like one of the complaints.
He
like
was the director and writer of the game because it had reviewers who couldn't be bothered to actually play the game, and
probably not.
three,
Come on.
it had woke reviewers who couldn't handle a gruff white biker looking at his date's ass.
No, I didn't remember seeing that complaint. Reading
What,
that.
you don't remember that very famous Kotaku review where they're like, the
Ass
headline was "Days Gone, Guy Biker's Too Gruff, Loves Asses."
Stares
2
at
out
ass
of
too
10.
long.
Was there dating in this game?
No,
I don't know.
I remember there was complaints about the story and how the protagonists interacted with other characters. They felt like maybe it was out of character for him or something was off. But what is that? Woke? That's funny. I was thinking about woke like yesterday. I don't even know what that means. It's like you're nice to people.
No,
Like you care. Like you sort of care about people. What people think. Like people's emotions.
The definition, woke by definition, just means that you are aware of racial injustice in society. That's what woke means. If we're
Not
talking
just
about
racial. No. Systemic injustice.
sorry, systemic. Okay,
Well,
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't think that there's that?
Well,
People that aren't woke.
people that are woke.
I mean, even if you watch any movie, there's always like some injustice. in
You'd
the
be
movie going
surprised
on.
how many people don't think that there's systemic injustice in this country. But
They do
to
probably
be aware,
against themselves, but not maybe against other people. They call it something else.
yes, exactly. But it's become this sort of catch-all term to just say anyone who's liberal is
Right.
get your woke ideas out of here. And it's like, what? I didn't say anything about social injustice. I was talking about brunch, and people, lose their minds. So
Right.
mhm,
The protagonist even had brunch in this game.
he should have.
Right. Like I
That's
think
what-
that would have gone a long way in the sales and the
Yeah,
critical
I think so.
reviews if he just
Yeah.
sat down and have a nice brunch in between running from zombies on his motorcycle.
Then he wouldn't have to protect his Twitter account. This guy.
I'm like, ooh, I'll take an egg Benny and a avocado toast,
It's a zombie apocalypse. They weren't eating that good.
some French press coffee, and a
No, they weren't doing that well.
banana nut waffle.
This, like, I don't know. This is like I didn't play this game.
I did. It was
No.
fine, but it just
Right.
it
I'm
was
sure it's fine.
it was
It
buggy
looked
at front,
fine.
and there was like a lot of I remember like sort of like quality of life issues with the game at the start, which I'm sure they fixed. I know that they updated a lot as it,
Yeah.
as time went
It
on.
just strikes me as hilarious that this, whatever, like sales or reviews of this game were anyway political when it was a game about a guy on a motorcycle
Right? Come
who
on,
was fighting
No,
zombies.
yes.
sour grapes like to the max.
He just was the guy is just he's looking for fingers to point
And you know what? If
in a room full of mirrors, and he doesn't want to point at any of them, so he's like pointing at the ceiling. Yeah,
just like it's one thing if he even thinks that, but just don't post it on Twitter. No one's gonna want to read that. Like you should know.
Well, like I said,
you
he
should
deleted
know.
all his tweets and locked his account.
Yeah, you should know better. You should know better. Just
Yeah.
write it out in the tweet and then click save draft or delete. It's
No,
one of
you
those two
delete.
things.
You never save a draft. If you type something and you know that like, oh, people are gonna this isn't gonna.
You can
go
save
well,
the draft. It just never. It just says like a thing like instead of hitting tweet, it's better than
I always
saving as draft.
delete. Like I'll type what's on my mind,
Oh,
and then I'll
delete.
go, okay,
That's
I
good.
can't post that, and then I get rid of it. But I
Right.
got it out of my system, and I feel better.
Sure.
Mhm.
Let me do a quick.
That's what a woke person would do.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what a smart
Yep.
person would do. Actually, person who's not looking to stir unnecessary shit.
And then I'm
Um,
like, you know what? I'll just post a clip of Fortnite instead.
Right.
Look at me shooting this guy in the knee.
Yep.
With good
You
graphics.
enjoyed that one.
I didn't
I
see
won,
that.
didn't I?
You did right in the knee. You got him right in the knee.
Right in the knee.
Meanwhile, is Marvel Snap just like single-handedly supporting Twitter with those ads? It's just like all I get.
Non-stop. It's
You
all
get
I
it
see.
too, even though it's on your phone. I'm surprised.
Yep.
You feel like once it's on your phone, the thing would check. Or maybe Apple doesn't allow that anymore. Was that part of the like that privacy shit? Because that's just fucking wasted money showing you Wombat that ad. It's like, you're well aware of the game at this point.
Yes, they're sending me that ad for no reason.
Right. And it's like,
and there's that part of me, it's like, do I just unfollow Marvel Snap? But
this is hilarious. Like, I just went to Twitter. The first thing up on my feed is a Marvel Snap ad.
Oh, it's every time I look. Like
it's right there.
It's right there several times.
Right,
and it keeps coming
right
back.
in my face.
That or some weird product.
Yeah, like that's it. That's it. It's some bullshit ad that looks like garbage or Marvel Snap.
Yeah. From some unverified account. Buy our product from our unverified account that's advertising on Twitter. Right. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do that. This blanket saves lives. I don't even know what that means. No.
Oh, I've seen the blanket one. Yeah.
This blanket saves lives.
It can put out fires and put you to sleep because it's like a weighted blanket.
Did you get the advent calendar that's Hans Gruber falling out of a building?
Yep. Got that one. That one. We're collecting them all.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They won't let me advertise the cheap ass gamer account because there's ass in it. That's against that's so much for the free speech. Elon's free speech. No ass. No, you think they would be, they want the money at this point. They'll fucking take anything. That's okay.
Why? They're only losing $250 million a month or some nonsense like that.
Let's lose money to make money.
Is that what it is?
I think that's the saying.
So I'm going to start making money any day now. Is that what is that okay? Cool. Just making sure.
Let's do a quick Whip Smart Spank Bank before we do a quick CAG bag and say goodbye. It's very quick. This game is called Succubus with Guns. By the way, did you see that New York Times article today about Nintendo? It was like how Nintendo's probably not like a big departure to have Call of Duty on the platform because they don't like his violent games. Because there's no tits in it. Right. Yeah, that person was way out of it. I don't know, it was weird. Anyway, Succubus with Guns is a third-person arena-style shooter, and there's waves of enemies, different guns and weapons. Succubus mode, nicely rendered with jiggle and wiggle. No nudity, but lots of tits and ass. Mindless fun. That's it. Succubus with Guns. And Pinkerator gave us the code.
I assume that jiggle and wiggle are the different forms of currency in this game?
No. That's the physics. That's the physics of the game. That's why people buy the game. So they can wank one out while they're jiggling and wiggling. Quick CAG bag. Joe Jerome writes in, and this is probably for Wombat. Really appreciate an SNL review and discussion of the Arby's commercial.
I'd say overall, it was Keke Palmer was the host. Nothing against Keke Palmer. I like her generally speaking, but I did think it was a pretty, fairly poor episode. Maybe a C- on the scale of 1 to 10. The Arby's commercial.
I don't know if that's how that works.
I know, that was the joke. The Arby's commercial sketch was fine. It wasn't like amazing. I think Keenan's Ving Rhames impersonation was pretty good. I enjoyed the joke. So the joke was it was a commercial for 10 roast beef sandwiches for $10, which is a promo they don't do, mind you, but that was the promo in this fake ad, and everyone was like, wait a minute, what kind of meat is this if you could sell 10 for $10? And that went on for about 5 minutes. Yeah, that was the joke.
Classic SNL.
Yeah.
4 minutes.
It's like Arby's sandwiches are only $1. That's gross. But they're not. So
right. You should write a letter.
I'm like, but they're not $1. They're like $4 each. They cost what a roast beef sandwich probably should cost. I don't know. I think they're even more than that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
All right. We got the review. Let's see. Funny Dale writes in, and this is for Shipwreck. He says, do you have a warranty on that 98-inch TV? Because I know from experience, large pieces of glass in young boys makes for a very depressing outcome.
I don't have the 98-inch TV yet, right?
It's not coming, right?
So I reached out to Amazon.
You're supposed to get the TV first, then the young boy. You did it backwards.
Mm-hmm. I reached out to Amazon. Like, I said, like, did the little click of like, hey, give me a call, right? Like,
oh, I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah. You can try to do like the online chat thing, but then it just like sends you to like AI. Like,
Right.
it doesn't give you any valuable information. It's like, oh yeah, I can see the same exact information on the page. Thank you very much, robot. So I had them give me a call, and then a wonderful young lady from, I don't know, Senegal or something.
Jennifer?
Yeah, Jennifer from Senegal. She's like, oh, I'll check into this. And so she did. She's like, oh, I'll give you an email about this and see what the status is. And she got back to me and was like, oh, it looks like that'll be there between January 21st and the 26th. And I'm like, great. That's not going to happen.
You don't think it's coming?
No.
You think that's just bullshit? She just
I
made
think
it
they're
up?
not going to. So when I ordered it, it said like they had 5 remaining, right?
Okay.
And so I ordered it, and now it's out of stock. And
you got one of them. That's why it's out of stock.
Correct. But I don't have one of them.
It's big. They have to get it ready. It probably takes them like a few weeks just to get it off the warehouse thing.
Sure. That's the process here. So I think they're gonna string me out here, say they can't get any more of these, and then cancel the order. Is where I think this is going.
Okay. So you're gonna wait to get that warranty?
I'm gonna wait on the warranty. Yeah.
Nice. All right, I think that's enough show. I think we could wrap it up.
That was the last question.
I'm out of water, so it's time to wrap it up.
Sounds fair.
I think we're probably off next week, but then we'll be back the week later with our favorites of 2022. And until then, we will.
Bread's done.